Hello and thanks for joining me. You can probably see I've got my little Tiger Cub up on the workbench here today. So, for those of you who have been asking where's the Tiger Cub, have I still got it? The answer is yes, it's just that I've not really been doing anything with it. The poor bike has been sat at the back of the workshop for, nearly 2 years now, just because I've been on with other things. And I've just not made any content about it. A couple of reasons I've not made any content about it. One of them is, as I said, because I've not really been doing much with the bike. But the other one is just because I felt that people who are into Tiger Cubs probably know far more about them than me. I get the impression that, Tiger Cub enthusiasts tend to be people who've, had them all their lives or at least, they had them when they were youths. They know them quite well. I know plenty of people who've not ridden bikes in 30, 40 years and they know Tiger Cubs better than me because they had one when they were young and they had it for 2-3 years and, pulled it apart several times. But I've been on a few forums recently, and some of the questions and comments on the forums lead me to believe that there are actually quite a lot of people out there who either really don't know much about the Tiger Cubs at all, or they don't know much about old bikes and old British bikes at all. So they're asking fairly basic things. So I thought, yeah, it's probably worth making some videos about the bike as I've got it on the workshop and I'm now starting to mess around with it and hopefully use it more. Because the only reason I make these videos is to try and help out other people. If I'm stuck, I've got an issue, I go to the internet and look for help, and other people do. So if I'm able to provide help to other people, very happy to do so. So I'm going to make a series of videos about the Tiger Cub, including things like I'm about to change the oil, so I'll make a separate video all about changing the oil on the Tiger Cub. Anyway, let me just give you the story of where I am with it at the moment. So after buying the bike, I did a few things with it and I rode it around for a while. I think I made some videos of fettling the front brake a bit. I wasn't happy with that and I got that tuned up a lot better. I repainted the tank. No disrespect to Ian, who I bought the tank. He painted it a lovely yellow and it looked super in yellow. And obviously I understand why he painted it yellow, but I'm just a little bit more conservatively minded. And on the registration document, it was recorded as blue and silver. So I've put it back to blue and silver, so it looks a little bit more conservative. But after that, I wanted to do some more work on the bike and I didn't have time to do doing other things, so it got shoved to the back of the workshop. But here we are. So I got it out and I thought, as it's been sat for a while, I'll change the oils. So I changed the oils. A couple of things came to light as I changed the oils. One of them was there was water in the oil, so I've somehow got water in it. I don't know if that was I left it parked outside in a rainstorm overnight. I don't know if that's caused it, or I washed the bike just before I got it up on the workbench. And again, I didn't use a jet wash or anything, but I might have got water in the works with that. So obviously quite concerned about that. So I put new oil in it. I've run the engine, warmed it up. The engine's warmed out, so I'm going to flush it all out again and put new oil in. So I'll make that video in a moment. But another thing came to light, and that was when I came to drain the primary case, there was nothing in there. And I'd never changed the oil before, so I don't know if it just came to me like that or whether I'd lost the primary oil. Let me do a closer zoom up and then I can tell you what I'm talking about. Right, I've just zoomed in a bit closer to the primary side of the engine here, just so you can see what I'm talking about. So on the primary case, there's the sort of inspection and filler cap here. There's a drain bolt underneath here. I will show that better when I make the separate video about changing the oil, but it's just here at the bottom. But also at the front here, there's a bolt which is the level hole indicator. So you remove that when you fill up the oil. When it starts dribbling out of there, you know you've got the right level. So as I said, before I started the engine, I thought I'll change all the oils. So I opened the drain plug and hardly anything came out. So I don't know if I've just lost that oil, in the short time I was riding it, or whether it came to me with very little oil in. But this is an interesting story, so bear with me. So I filled it up until it started dribbling out, left it till it stopped dribbling, so I knew that the right level, put all the plugs back in, started the bike up, And as the bike warmed up, I started getting quite a serious oil drip from down here. And it's directly under the output shaft of the gearbox. So, you know, where the sprocket is. And it was running down the inside of the primary case down here. So I thought it's either coming out from the clutch side, from the primary, or it's coming out from the, you know, from the gearbox. I wasn't sure which. And you can't see, you know, trying to look under there, you just can't see where it's coming from. So I thought, you know, before I start panicking and tearing the engine apart, I'll have a think about it. So I had a cup of coffee and thought through. I'll just spin the camera back around so I can talk to you face to face. That's better. So I thought, how can I work out where it's coming from without, you know, initially tearing the engine apart? So I thought, well, what I'll do is I'll drain the primary case, just the primary case, start the bike again and see if the leak continues. And if the leak continues, that suggests that the oil's coming through from the gearbox side. And I thought, you know, and then I can sort of swap over and, you know, drain the gearbox and the other way around and see. So anyway, I drained the primary case, and a couple of things that are interesting. Firstly, there's quite a lot of oil came out. When I topped it up, I didn't measure how much oil I was putting in. I just used the funnel, poured it in through the filler hole here until it started dribbling out of here. But it was clear to me that there was quite a lot more, and I measured it, and it was actually about 300 millilitres came out. In the manual, it suggests it should only have about 200 millilitres in there. So I thought, well, that's like 50% more. So that's interesting. One of my friends, Brian, suggested that perhaps oil was blowing through from the crank into the primary and overfilling it. So before I drained the oil, I actually removed this level plug. You know, and then if oil was coming out of that, it would suggest that there was more oil that had gone in, you know, blown through from the crank. But in actual fact, nothing came out of here at all. Whereas when I filled it, it was, you know, it was up to it just dribbling out slightly. So the fact that nothing came out when I drained it, you know, suggests it was below there, you know, reflecting the fact that I'd lost oil out of here. But despite that, there was still about 300 millimetres came out. So it's clear that filling it up to here gives me about 300 millimetres of oil, as opposed to the 200 millilitres suggested in the workshop manual. Interesting. So anyway, I drained it out, started the bike, no oil leak at all. No oil leak at all. So that suggests to me that the oil that's leaking out is coming from the primary rather than the gearbox. So I thought, when I fill it up, what I'll do is, rather than fill it up to the level hole, I will just measure out 200 millilitres and put that in as per the manual. So I did that. Nothing coming out of here, so it's obviously, you know, a little bit below that level. But started the bike again, ran the bike for about 20 minutes. Firstly upright like this, and then I took it off the stand, put it on its side stand, because I thought, you know, being on the side stand might make a difference to the oil coming out. I ran the side stand, and after 20 minutes, I don't know if you can see that is basically one drop of oil. That's the totality of what came out after 20 minutes of running the engine. So I thought, well, rather than, you know, now starting to tear it down and see, because I've spent a lot of time, I've never pulled one of these engines apart before, I say, but I've spent a lot of time with my head in the parts catalogue and in workshop manuals, and you can learn a lot just by looking at the exploded diagrams that you get in the manuals and the catalogues. And I know that behind the clutch here, so coming through from the gearbox, there's a shaft, and it's got like a bronze bush on the outside, and around that bronze bush there is a little oil seal which presses on, which is then held in place with a little plate. Because I've never had this bike apart, I don't know if it's on there, or if it's damaged, or I saw a very helpful video from Paul Henshaw, who does a lot of material on Tiger Cubs, where he'd been working on a bike and that little bush was worn or broken off. That little bronze bush was broken off. So I don't know if there's a situation like that. But I think, you know, if I've reduced just by putting less oil in and apparently putting the correct amount of oil in, if according to the workshop manual, if I've reduced the oil leak to that, and of course I don't know what will happen when I ride it. When I start riding the bike and everything's turning, you know, the gearbox and everything's turning, the centrifugal force of that may actually reduce the oil leak even more. So I'm not going to start tearing the engine apart. I'm not going to start worrying about that. Because when I started up at first, it was kind of drip, 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 drip. It was quite serious. I thought, I can't live with that. So, yeah, that's quite an interesting start to fettling it. So, yeah. Look out for more videos on my Tiger Cub if that interests you. You know, my problem is I have with this channel is I'm playing to a very wide audience. I know a lot of people follow me for the Harley Davidson content, and that's all they're interested in, particularly American viewers. There's a lot of people follow me for the Triumph Scrambler 1200 content that I do, you know, particularly the service maintenance work on the Scrambler and modifications I've made. But you know, my bike interests are wide. This channel reflects my interests, and you know, my philosophy is if 3 people watch this video and find it useful and enjoy it, it was worth making. So if you're still with me, thanks for watching. If you're interested in Tiger Cubs, subscribe to the channel because there's more content coming, hopefully very soon. Cheers. Bye.